Welcome back, everybody. We are here, as you can see for the title down below, to open our second pre-release kit. I'll have an annotation up for the first pre-release kit opening, as well as some information on me and my history of Magic. If you are interested, go ahead and check those out. But otherwise, we're going to get right into it as I create more trash for myself to have to deal with later. So, 2 Battle for Zendikar packs, 4 Oath of the Gatewatch packs. We're going to be opening a lot of Oath of the Gatewatch stuff, so even though there's only 4 packs per pre-release kit, you'll still have plenty to watch on this channel of Oath of the Gatewatch openings. So let's get into it. Let's see what D20 we get. We get the blue one, which was the one that eluded us last time, and we eventually had to trade for it. But here's the blue one from this set. Again, gigantic set symbol on there. So there you go. I'll leave that on the side here. This time I rolled a 20 unintentionally, so that's good. We have the separator here of the 4 planeswalkers. We have the little rules thing, which we'll leave on the side, and our promo foil is Glade Heart Cavalry, kind of a darker art for a foil, and especially inside of the cellophane, which we're not going to open. There's no reason to, because there's only one thing in here. Kind of darker art, but it is a good card. It's got the stamp on there for the promo foil, so that's awesome. We'll leave that on the side. And again, we're going to open the Battle for Zendikar stuff first, because we have seen those all over the channel already. Check out those openings if you are interested. But let's go through this pretty quickly, see what we get, see if we get anything good. Altar's Reap, Call the Scions, Royal Mage's Trick, Nettle Drone, Kitesail Scout, Eyeless Watcher, Eldrazi Devastator, Wavewing Elemental for Dave, there you go, Fertile Thicket, Dave is on the camera if you guys didn't get that from me pointing at him, Geyser Field Stalker, Turn Against is our first uncommon, Vampiric Rites is the second, Molten Nursery is the third, our rare or mythic is Painful Truths. That card has actually gone up quite a bit in price. I was not very happy about seeing it the first couple of times when I opened it on the channel, but now it is a bit more money than it was at the time. So Painful Truths, there you go. Full Art Mountain and an Eldrazi Scion token. And that's our first Battle for Zendikar pack. Let's see what the second one has in store for us with Gideon on the front. We did, as I mentioned in the last video, open some sick Battle for Zendikar stuff, so as I said, definitely go check out those openings from us. Salvage Drone, Calastria Healer, Blister Pod, Oracle of Dust, Inspired Charge, Reckless Cohort with the Vegetable Peeler Sword, Ondu Champion, Ghostly Sentinel, Benthic Infiltrator, Vestige of Emrakul, Vampiric Rites is our first uncommon, duplicate from the last pack, Dampening Pulse is the second, Infused with the Elements is the third. Our rare or mythic out of our second Battle for Zendikar pack is Nissa's Renewal. Not a good card. I'm not a fan, but there's our rare. We have a full art forest and an octopus token. I like the token better than our rare. So there you go. We will move on to what we're really all here for, Oath of the Gatewatch. Oh, and I thought we had all 4 planeswalkers, but we didn't. We have Gideon, Chandra, Jace, and Chandra. So we actually had 2 duplicate Chandras in the last box as well. But let's get cracking into this Jace box. We have the Searing Light. We got one of those in the last box. A Negate. We haven't seen one of these yet. This Negate is showing a Merfolk negating a spell, which is cool. So new Negate art, same Negate card. Maw of Kozilek again. Shoulder to Shoulder. For those of you that know the unsets, I'm almost positive it was in Unhinged. They had Mouth to Mouth, which was a card where you got to have a contest with your opponent in holding your breath. And if you won that contest, you got to get some kind of benefit from the card. And to be honest, that's all I think of when I see this card, is the Mouth to Mouth card where you got to hold your breath with your opponent. Netcaster Spider, Witness the End again, Expedition Raptor again, Reality Hemorrhage. So this is the first time we've seen Reality Hemorrhage. This is some fantastic art, and this is once again showing Kozilek's influence on the plane of Zendikar as he messes people up. If you guys have not read the stories on Uncharted Realms, you should definitely do that. Again, I mentioned I'm not paid by Wizards to say that. I just really enjoy the stories, and the story that we were just reading about Kozilek's effect on people with his reality warping powers is insane. So, reality hemorrhage. The next card is Crumbling Vestige, another one we haven't seen yet. This art, I don't know that I know what is going on. Clearly, it is Ulamog's disruption all over the place, but it looks like the stuff's like upside down. Like, it's really hard to tell what's happening, but I feel like whatever's happening, it looks really cool. So I do like the art, I just don't understand the art, if that makes sense. Gravity Negator. I love this card. Art. If you look, this is not some landmass. That is water underneath this guy because he is the Gravity Negator. So he's negating gravity, and that water is traveling up towards him. Also, you can tell it's water because you can see his reflection in the bottom. You can see his tail here at the bottom of the actual art itself. And then behind the text box, you can see the rest of him as well reflected in the water. So that's just fantastic. I think that looks so cool. So there you go, Gravity Negator. I like that card a lot. Roiling Waters is our first uncommon. That looks fun. So that this is actually Noyan Dar from the last set in the middle here, at least according to the flavor text, shooting water up at these Eldrazi and kind of messing them up and I guess preventing them from attacking and killing people. So Roiling Waters. Havoc Sower. That one looks weird. Some art looks pretty gross. That one looks, I'm not sure whether it's just weird or whether it's actually gross. I can't quite tell, but we have the Havoc Sower as our second uncommon. Void Grafter is our third. Nothing super special going on here. It is a gold card going down to colorless, which is not as impressive because there's not too much of a color change difference. And the card itself isn't that colorful for an Eldrazi. Our rare or mythic out of this pack, though, is Reality Smasher. Speaking of colorful Eldrazi, here is another Kozilek Eldrazi with the crown up at the top and multiple different colors distorted kind of all over the place. You get a lot of like pinks and purples with Kozilek, guys, so that's really awesome. We have the Reality Smasher as our rare. We have a full art Plains. We got this one in foil in the last box. I guess spoilers if you didn't watch that one yet. And the new zombie token. This card looks gross, which is what they were going for, so good for them. So a zombie token. On to our second Oath of the Gatewatch pack out of this box. We'll go with one of the Chandra packs. Let's see what we get. We have obviously not seen any expeditions yet. Obviously hoping for those. We got one from Battle for Zendikar. Again, check out our other videos. You'll see us freaking out over that. Slip Through Space. I wanted to talk about this card. I was looking at this art, and at first it seemed weird because it looked like this guy, Kozilek's Brood, was commanding these guys to fight. But no, the card's called Slip Through Space, and they were facing this Eldrazi, but he was over here in the foreground. He slipped through that tiny hole in their defenses and has now popped up behind them and is presumably now going to kill them, which is insane. I love that. I love the art, and I love that even just looking at the card for a little while, I was just able to figure that out based on the name of it. That's really good flavor. That's really good art. So that's the kind of stuff that I love, is when I don't have to read the card or know the backstory to know exactly what's happening. So there you go. Another Maw of Kozilek. Love the colors on that, as I mentioned. Speaking of awesome art, Dazzling Reflection. So what looks like, it's a Felidar, but obviously it looks like a lion or a cat. A big cat. Or a Patronus. It does look like the stag Patronus. So there you go. Dazzling Reflection. Fantastic art. So yes, Dave, thank you. We will call this the Stag Patronus from now on. We have Umara Entangler. That card also looks really cool. It's a lot of blue. It is a blue card, and I get that, but that is a lot of blue on one card. So we have the Umara Entangler. We have the Loam Larva. Again, colorful. This one's not an Eldrazi, though. It kind of looks like it, but it's not. Apparently, it's just an insect. So there you go. Witness the End again. Boulder Salvo. I feel like there are a lot of... They lose originality on art like this. So you just have big dudes in the background throwing boulders. I was just recently playing Khans of Tarkir, and there's barrage of boulders is basically the exact same thing. So they do different things, but the art is exactly the same, so that's a little boring. Another wastes. So here is the wastes caused by Ulamog. He creates the chalky whiteness as he drains stuff, whereas Kozilek creates all the distorted kind of angular colors. So this is the chalky white distortion created by Ulamog. Again, not a fan that this is in my common slot as a mechanic almost. I'm just not a fan. We have Sweep Away. This card looks awesome. It's just showing that, like, this is the Royal doing this, but just in general, Zendikar is just kind of falling apart. Everything is being distorted. Everything's being whipped around in all different directions to just try to get rid of this Eldrazi threat. Our first uncommon is Pyromancer's Assault. Our second is the Seed Guardian, aka Man-Thing. Our third is Visions of Brutality. We saw that card before. Our rare or mythic out of this pack is Stoneforge Masterwork. First one of these for me. I do like this card. I don't know that I want tons of them, but it is cool. A lot of people liken it to Coat of Arms, which is a card that I do have fond memories of playing with at the lunch table in high school. So there you go, Stoneforge Masterwork. I kind of spoiled it for myself. I didn't see exactly what it was, but I do know that we have a foil back here. The foil is the Blinding Drone. So it's an Eldrazi in foil. It's a Blinding Drone Eldrazi in foil. I loved the colors on this card. I mentioned it the last time we saw it. Now we have it in foil. Looks even cooler. And it's a common foil. So there you go with the Blinding Drone. We have a Full Art Forest and an Elemental token. Again, another kind of Man-Thing elemental. So there you go. We've got 2 more packs left. I will leave those on the side. We've got 2 more packs left. We've got Gideon and Chandra. I'm going to open the other Chandra pack first, leave Gideon for last. I like that the art on all of these is all of them taking their oaths. We have also not seen an oath yet. I know they're rare, so it's a little bit more difficult to find them, but we haven't seen one yet. Alpha Protector, Ancient Crab, Expedite. So this reminds me of a lot of different cards that give them haste. It just kind of seems like a theme. I can't remember the name offhand, but it was from Theros. There was a card that was exactly like this. Saddleback Lagak. I love this card. It looks awesome. The colors are great. The contrast of the colors is great. And it is just a lizard, so it's not another colorful Eldrazi, although I feel like the artists or the art director just was in love with pinks and purples, because I feel like even the non-Eldrazi are just pink and purple all over the place in this set. Corpse Churn again, talked about that earlier. Zada's Commando, so another one of the Jay Leno tribe of goblin allies with the Chin. Again, another smaller Chin. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the bigger ones so that you guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see what I mean. Crumbling Vestige again, still confused by what's going on here. Containment Membrane. I like this a lot. It looks like, I mean, especially because it's called a membrane, but it even looks, with the art, it looks like that card would be squishy, or the membrane would be squishy. Just walk up and push it and you'd be able to, it'd just be squishy. I like that. I think that's cool. Hedron Crawler. I think this thing is adorable. If you look, that's some soldier's feet back there, and this is this little thing just crawling around, which is probably why it's an 0/1. And again, it enables you to produce your colorless mana, but it's just adorable. We have Oblivion Strike. I genuinely this card makes me feel sad because it's this big Eldrazi. It actually almost looks like the Breaker of Armies from Battle for Zendikar, but it's swiping at this land, this animated land, and this elemental, and you can see it's being split in half, but it really almost looks like the land is like reaching out and all it was doing was trying to help. But yeah, it's terrifying. I feel like I said, it makes me feel sad watching that land that was brought to life just kind of torn apart like that. So we have the Cliff Haven Vampire. So this card looks really sweet. I don't fully understand how vampires work on Zendikar, just because it's very clearly daylight. You can see it shining from over here, and this vampire is just fine. So yeah, I don't fully understand how it works, but the card is cool. The art is cool. It's a gold card, and it's our first uncommon. We have Devouring Flames as well. Again, there's Chandra kind of messing things up, obviously messing the Eldrazi up with her flames, so that's cool. And Iona's Blessing. I love there's an angel theme, and actually I don't know that we've seen a single angel card yet, but there's an angel theme in this set with the little halo around the eyes showing protection from the angels, which is awesome. So there you go. This is the enchant creature or the aura that allows you to have that. And our rare or mythic out of this pack is Dimensional Infiltrator. So I've seen a lot of promotional art of this guy. If you look, he's kind of distorting everything in the background around him. In the art, I don't really have much to say about the playability of the card. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I just like the art because, again, it's one of Kozilek's Brood. You can tell by the colors, and because of the fact that it's distorting everything around it. We have a full art Swamp and one of the new Eldrazi Scion tokens. I love that they've made a lot of different Eldrazi Scion token arts, showing that there are more of them now that Kozilek has come into being on the plane. Last but certainly not least, Gideon taking his Oath of the Gatewatch pre-release kit pack number 2. Let's see what we get out of this last pack as I just tear it to pieces. We start with Sift Through Space again. I talked about this already. That's such cool art. We have Brute Strength. So this guy is not from the Jay Leno tribe, but Amy was commenting when we saw this art the other day how adorable she thinks he is, and that he's just picking up that big rock. So there you go. Brute Strength. Core Scythe Master, we saw him earlier. Comparative Analysis we saw earlier as well. Kozilek's Translator, I talked about how cool that card is. It looks like, I think Amy was mentioning, it looks like an oil trail kind of just going through. And if you guys have seen, if somebody spills a little bit of oil and a little bit of water gets in it and the sun shines on it, it does really look like that. So there you go. Amy was commenting that that's the oil trail card. Lead by Example. So there are a lot of cards in the set, or I should say a good number of cards in the set that have the Planeswalkers on them kind of doing their thing. And with 4 different Planeswalkers focused on in this set, I think that's really cool. This one looks awesome with Nissa and Gideon fighting together. If you've read the stories, that does happen pretty frequently, and that's awesome. And they're just cutting through all these little Eldrazi drone guys. So I like the art on this card a lot. I think that's awesome. Isolation Zone again, saw that earlier. Scion Summoner, we saw that earlier as well. Amy's dancing buddy. Boulder Salvo, I talked about how I found that art boring. Another Wastes, so here we go. We got 2 this time, both Ulamogs. We got Grasp of Darkness as our first uncommon. Card looks great. I don't know whether it's coming out of the ground and grabbing it or whether it's coming in from the foreground and grabbing it. I'm not quite sure, but it does look great with the black and the purple in there, grabbing the colorful Eldrazi, so I like that a lot. We have the Meandering River, so this is another one of the uncommon cycle of, I guess, dual lands, if you want to call them that. Obviously, that's not quite the proper term, but the uncommon cycle. I also like this art a lot. It's very kind of boxy in terms of where the river is meandering, but I like it. It's kind of showing that what it had to do with the devastation on Zendikar. So there you go with the Meandering River. Our third is the Stoneforge Acolyte. I like this card as well, the art at least, with him working with his hands and kind of the fire. And it actually looks relatively peaceful. I feel like this card could go in any set and it doesn't really show the devastation from the Eldrazi. You kind of don't get that here. So I like that. It's kind of like a safe haven almost. And our rare or mythic in our last pack of this pre-release kit is Sifter of Skulls. I think the card's pretty cool. It's a rare. It's nothing super exciting, but I do enjoy it. It gives you the opportunity to make Eldrazi Scion tokens, which again, I was commenting on how much I enjoy all the Scion tokens. After Sifter of Skulls, we have a Full Art Mountain, and we have a Knight Ally token. Again, Jareth Dorn appreciates these, so I'm sure Dave does as well. If you guys watch the other videos on our channel, you will understand what that means. So let's quickly go over what we got in this box. It was not as exciting as the last box, but it was all right. We got the Sifter of Skulls that you just saw, the Dimensional Infiltrator as well, the Blinding Drone foil. I'm actually really happy with this. I think it looks beautiful. So there you go, a Blinding Drone. We have the Stoneforge Masterwork. As I said, I'm happy to get this. Reminds me of Coat of Arms. We have the Reality Smasher. Great colors on that rare. Nissa's Renewal and Painful Truths were our two rares from our Battle for Zendikar packs. I usually try to pick the MVP and leave you guys with the MVP. I'm kind of just going to leave you with the Blinding Drone. I know it's only a common foil, but there really wasn't a lot to talk about in this one. So this one was just okay. We will have a lot more coming for you. Please check out the other stuff on here. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. We're really looking forward to opening this stuff. Let's see what other cool stuff we can get. Check out all the other videos on our channel. I'm sure there are annotations all over the place up here. Check out Driving to the Draft. Check out our RPG show. And in whatever video you guys watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, guys.